What is going on, ladies, and more importantly, gentlemen? It's time to give my predictions and break down UFC 262, Oliveira versus Chandler. That's right, these guys are fighting for Khabib Nurmagomedov's vacated belt. You've got Charles Oliveira riding a 7-fight winning streak, taking on Bellator's former lightweight kingpin Michael Chandler, who came over and knocked out Dan Hooker in the first round. They're going to be squaring off in the main event. Before we give our breakdown and predictions, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, give this channel a subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Don't be a baby back bagel biting beta male because you know what time it is. It's full time MMA. That's right, UFC 262 goes down this weekend, so let's give our predictions. This is going to be a shorter video because I got a lot to do. I got to pack. I got my keys to the new place today. I got a little bit of stuff left to pack up, and we're going to be moving out. I'm out of the studio. I got my own place, my own apartment, with my own kitchen, and my own bathroom, and my own office, and oh, it's going to be amazing. But let's not get sidetracked. Let's get into the main event. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Charles Oliveira is riding a 7-fight winning streak. He's coming into this fight on a very impressive win over Tony Ferguson, where he almost ripped the boy's arm off of his body in a unanimous decision victory. I mean, this guy was beating the cooey out of Tony Ferguson, and it was very impressive to watch. With that being said, Tony Ferguson is in a little bit of a decline, so does that play into it? We will see. Charles Oliveira, either way, much respect. He used to fight at 145 pounds, came up to 155, and has been on a just continued the tear. And he's going to be taking on Michael Chandler, Bellator's former kingpin, as I previously stated. Michael Chandler is dangerous, though. And one thing Michael Chandler has in this fight, as you can see, I'm picking him to win. One thing he has over Charles Oliveira in this fight is he is a part of the 5-round club. Michael Chandler, as Bellator's former lightweight champion, has won fights via 5th round unanimous decision. That's one thing Charles Oliveira does not have. Charles Oliveira is dangerous. Charles Oliveira is well-rounded. Charles Oliveira can submit you. He can knock you out. He's won decisions, but 3-round decisions, not 5-round decisions. I think Michael Chandler's going to win this fight via unanimous decision. I think he's going to show why he's a part of the 5-round club, and I think he's going to spark an entire new conversation. He's going to make all of us hardcore MMA fans reevaluate Bellator's entire talent pool, because if he can come in here and pull off an impressive victory over Charles Oliveira as Bellator's former champion, he's only got one fight in the UFC. Charles Oliveira has been dominating at the highest level. If Michael Chandler can come over here and look good in a decision, not even just a decision, but if he can win a unanimous decision over Charles Oliveira and make it look any sort of relative ease, we're going to be having, the MMA community is going to be having some serious conversations. We're all going to be looking at Bellator a little bit differently come next Sunday. We're going to be looking at all these guys like, whoa, Michael Chandler was the champion over there and he just came over here and won Khabib's old belt. Whoa, how would Michael Chandler look against Khabib? Who did Michael Chandler have tough fights against? I mean, the world's gonna go crazy if Michael Chandler wins. And that's what I'm predicting to happen. I'm predicting Michael Chandler to come in here and win a unanimous decision victory against Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira. Moving on to the co-main event, we've got Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. Tony Ferguson is skidding. Beneil Dariush is streaking. They're mixing. Skidding versus streaking. That's right. El Cucui's riding a 2-fight losing skid against 2 of the best fighters in the world, though. Justin Gaethje, who finished Tony Ferguson, and then Charles Oliveira, who beat the Cucuy out of Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson now is going to be taking on Beneil Dariush, who's riding, I believe, a 6-fight winning streak. an impressive 6-fight winning streak. I'm a fan of Beneil Dariush. I used to not like Beneil Dariush. I used to not be a fan of Beneil Dariush because the judges gave him a robbery victory, I believed, over Michael Johnson, and it wasn't even Dariush's fault. He wasn't the judges that gave him the robbery. But I was like, what the fuck? This dude just got a robbery? Why are the judges sucking this guy's pecker? So I said, forget Dariush mentally. But since then, he has done more than enough to earn my respect. Just well-rounded, very level-headed, thoughtful, a good dude, genuine person. I mean, there's nothing really to hate on about Beneil Dariush. He's riding a win streak. He can knock you out. He can submit you. He can beat you in a decision. He's tough. He'll get in there and he's gritty. I fucking love the kid at this point. Pause. But he has not fought anybody in the top 5 of the division, and El Kakui was on a 12-fight winning streak before losing to 2 of the 2 best in the world, and of course Father Time as well. Tony Ferguson sort of got aged out of his prime, unfortunately. This guy was scheduled to fight Khabib 5 times, and they all fucking fizzled. So to see him go out on a 3-fight losing streak and potentially drop into under the top 10 would just be heartbreaking. I'm picking Tony Ferguson. I think he's got the skills. He's got the work ethic to really, I don't think the age of 37 is going to make him fall that far from grace. I'm more worried about those demoralizing losses. If he can come back from that. I don't really think it's going to be age with Tony Ferguson because he's a fucking demon when it comes to training. So I'm rocking with El Kakui, Tony Ferguson, to take this dub over Beneil Dariush. Then we've got a filler fight, a WMMA fight, which me and my brother were talking about this earlier. WMMA is almost like, I mean, you should call it the WFC. My brother was saying the WUFC. Because if you think about the NBA compared to the WNBA, it's almost like the UFC has been figured out how to stick these filler fights in and make us pay for them. Because if there was an Invicta card or even a UFC pay-per-view, a UFC Fight Night free card headlined by Caitlin Chukagian and Vivian Arroyo, nobody would be watching that shit. There'd be a couple people, a couple hardcores. But just over the last weekend, Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson, I had other shit to do. I'm a hardcore fan, but I got a lot of other shit going on between business, job, moving. I just got my keys today to my apartment. I'll talk a bit more about that at the end of the video, but I don't got time. I'm not clearing my schedule to watch the WNBA or the WFC Women's Fighting Championship. I'm not doing it. And so this fight, Chukagian versus Araujo, it's filler. I'm honestly upset that this is on a $70 pay-per-view. Just because it's like we're getting conned with these female fights. I mean, if it's Nunes versus Cyborg, sure, but that is extremely rare. That's like the 1 to 2% of women's fights are probably going to be like entertaining on that scale. Sorry guys, it is what it is. But I'll give my breakdown on this fight since they managed to put it on the pay-per-view. Caitlin Chukagian is 2-1 in her last 3 fights since losing her title shot against Valentina. She's picked up wins against Antonina Shevchenko and Cynthia Calvillo, and she's only lost to former champion Jessica Andrade in that time. Vivian Araujo is currently riding a 2-fight winning streak against Montana De La Rosa and Roxanne Modafferi. She's 7-1 in her last 8 fights. She's only lost to Jessica I in that time. MMA Masters Caitlin Chukagian should win this fight, but this is a WMMA filler. And it's just honestly to find some Valentina Shevchenko fodder. I'm not going to look too deep into this fight. I'm going to close my eyes and pick Vivian Araujo. This fight most likely plays out on the feet. I could see Vivian outpointing Caitlin with her jab on the feet, but she also could land a few takedowns. She's probably the better grappler in this fight. She got a couple submission wins, and Caitlin Chukagian is more of a kickboxer. So I'm taking Araujo, but I don't care. Moving on to a fight that actually matters in a potential fight of the night. Like I said, ladies and more importantly, gentlemen. Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza. This fight is fucking potential fireworks fight of the night type shit. Shane Burgos 3-1 in his last 4 fights, most recently coming off a loss to Josh Emmett. Edson Barboza 1-1 since coming to 145 pounds. He's coming off unanimous decision win over Makwan Amirkhani after losing a fight of the night split decision to Dan 50K Ige. This for sure has potential to be fight of the night, and as does the main and co-main event, though. Those are both really good fights, too. But I've got to take Edson Barboza in this fight as long as he can avoid being knocked out. He's fought much higher level competition throughout his career, and he's got double the fights of Shane Burgos. Shane definitely has a puncher's chance in this fight, but I'm taking Barboza for sure. I'm taking Edson Barboza, but I'm glue your eyes to the TV for this fight. And then use Chukagian versus Arujo for your bathroom break, your smoke break, whatever you got to do. Use your time wisely. You would be a fool to go to the restroom during Burgos Barboza and then sit down with your popcorn for fucking Chukagian Arujo. Alright, last fight of the night. Let's hurry up and get on out of here. I got stuff to do. I'm getting my new apartment. I got my keys today already. I did my walkthrough. It's going to be fucking... I can't wait. Alright, Andre Muniz versus Jacare Souza. Jacare is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Currently riding a 3-fight losing streak. Most recently getting knocked out by Kevin Holland in that scramble. Andre Muniz is currently riding a 6-fight winning streak, but is only 2-0 in the UFC after earning his career contract. His UFC contract with a first-round submission on Dana White's Contender Series. In this fight, pretty simple. I'm taking Jacare. He's fighting for his career in a hand-picked favorable matchup against a grappler who's only got 2 fights in the UFC. If Jacare gets tapped out in this fight, Scott Coker probably won't even call him to sign him to a new contract. So I would hope Jacare is training for this fight like a title fight, like his career depends on it, because it does. Jacare, you gotta win this one, bro. This dude's a grappler. No way you can get tapped out by this UFC newcomer. If so, you just go train jiu-jitsu, bro. Just go teach jiu-jitsu, bro. It is what it is, guys. That's my predictions for UFC 262. Gonna be watching. I don't know if I'll have the internet set up at my new place by this weekend, but if so, oh my god, we're gonna be live streaming at my new apartment. It's gonna be fucking sick. And with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.